Mira never quite fit into the world the way others did. Not because she was broken, but because she felt too much, too deeply. She saw beauty in silence, poetry in the mundane, magic in the unnoticed. While others rushed to be seen, Mira lingered in the background, learning to listen, not just to people, but to the world itself, the wind, the light, the longing in her own bones. Now she stood by a window in a land far from the one that raised her. A land where every sign was written in a different language, where the rhythm of the streets moved like a foreign melody. She watched the city breathe beneath her, so unfamiliar, so alive. And yet, a strange calm filled her chest, because deep down, Mira knew this wasn't the end of something. It was the quiet beginning of everything. She didn't come here to be someone else. She came to remember who she truly was, the girl who always dreamed in silence, the one whose soul had been waiting for her to finally arrive. She had walked through long corridors of suffering, not just places of illness, but rooms filled with stories, grief, courage, silence too deep for language. She showed up with skill, with care, but more than anything, with presence. She wiped tears she wasn't supposed to show, held space when no one else knew how, sat beside pain she could not fix. And still, she returned each day, not because she had to, but because her soul knew how to stay. She was not the most confident speaker, not the loudest in the room, but she was steady. She was real. She brought her whole self into the places others turned away from. And while she could not carry every sorrow, she made sure no one faced it alone. She didn't need applause. She didn't need recognition. What she gave was invisible. But it mattered. It always mattered. There are moments in life when you want to do more, to hold every broken piece, to heal every ache, to stop the suffering you witness in another's eyes. But Mira came to understand, she is not a superhero. She cannot rescue every soul from pain. What she can do is show up, with trembling hands, tear-streaked eyes, and a heart that stays open even when it hurts. She is steady in her work. She shows up with knowledge, skill, and care. But even that has its limits. Not every ache can be touched by expertise alone. She's not the one who always knows what to say, not the one who shines in the spotlight, but she offers her presence completely, with honesty, humility, and soul. She listens to her own boundaries now, learns to say, "This is where I step back. This is where I must rest." Even when it aches, even when her heart still wants to give more, that is enough. Because to love this deeply and still honor your own heart is its own quiet form of grace. Healing didn't come as a grand revelation. It came in pieces, in ordinary moments most people would miss. Mira wasn't expecting anything special that day, just running errands, moving through the motions. But as she passed by the checkout lane, she saw a little girl sitting inside her father's shopping cart, legs swinging gently, eyes wide with wonder. And then the girl smiled at her, not to impress, not because she was told to, not for attention or approval. She smiled simply because her heart felt like it. No performance, no filter. Just a moment of pure human light. And in that flash of connection, Mira felt something stir, a warmth she hadn't touched in a long time. A quiet recognition of the part of her that used to smile like that too, before the world became too loud, before the weight of caring blurred the edges of joy. That smile didn't fix everything, but it reminded her. Something inside her was still alive, still open, still capable of wonder. Not the dance from childhood choreographed by cartoons or instructors or expectations. Not the one judged, timed, or applauded. This one was different. There was no audience, no stage, no mirrors. No one telling her what beauty should look like. Mira danced because her body remembered something her mind had forgotten. That joy doesn't need permission. That freedom doesn't always make sense to others, but it makes sense to the soul. She danced barefoot in the kitchen while dinner simmered behind her. She danced in her bedroom between laundry piles and unfinished dreams. She danced in the forest where no one watched but the trees. Under snowfall that kissed her eyelashes. Among the wind that dared her to keep twirling. And sometimes in the boundless space of her dreams where even gravity let go. Her body didn't move to impress, it moved to express. And in those quiet, sacred moments, her soul was free, her heart was full, and that was enough. Mira no longer needed to prove herself. Not to the world, not to her past. She had found something deeper, a quiet freedom. Not the kind that shouts or runs wild, but the kind that settles into the bones and says, "You are allowed to be who you are." She reconnected to what always grounded her. The wind brushing her skin, the way the trees seemed to listen, how stars blinked gently, asking nothing in return. She began to walk a spiritual path, not one laid out by others, but one whispered through the rhythm of the earth. A path that reminded her, we are not permanent. We are not separate. We are stardust, just visiting in human form. And Mira, she didn't want to be the sun. She didn't want fame or noise or power. She only wanted to be a little star, offering her dim, honest light to the night sky of this world, to show up when she could, to shine in her own quiet way, to belong. And in doing so, she finally understood she had never been lost. She was always becoming.